We finally got one. We got us a grapple for the TYM 4820. Man, am I pumped to have this. Hobby homesteaders, welcome back to Peak's Peak. My name's Lucas. We're sharing our hobbies here on 38 acres in eastern Kentucky, and today we got us an EastonMade grapple that is going to be amazing for us to use here in the wood yard. If you're not familiar with EastonMade, EastonMade is a wood splitter company out of Canada, and they make some of the most amazing wood splitters and firewood processors and big impressive equipment that you've ever seen. And now they have just released a newly designed grapple that is perfect for this kind of work because it's made to scoop up firewood, it's made to move logs, it's made to move brush piles, all the things that have to do with wood, this thing excels at. And I'm going to show you the features of this grapple today and tell you a little bit about it so that you can decide if this might be the right grapple for you. Now, before we get started, I want to let you guys know that obviously EastonMade provided this grapple for me for demonstration purposes and to share here on my channel. So that may sway my opinion just a little bit, but the features that you're going to see today, I think you'll be just as impressed as I am. This is one heavy-duty made grapple that's ready for the wood yard. Now, EastonMade, that's their focus, is firewood and firewood equipment. So that's why they designed this grapple the way that they did. I have tried scooping up firewood with lots of different methods, including my rock bucket, my regular bucket. You know, forks obviously aren't going to do anything. And so I didn't have a way to just scoop up firewood. So when I load my baskets, I'm pitching it in there by hand. That's all changed because this scoop of firewood right here, man, 3 or 4 of those are going to fill the bed of a truck. You can make quick work of filling a dump trailer, and it doesn't scoop up a bunch of dirt and garbage to take along with it. The way they've designed this, it really does a good job for what it's made for. This EastonMade grapple, I have the 60-inch version here. This is 1/2-inch AR 400 steel. AR 400 steel is like 3 or 4 times stronger than mild steel. And the actual tines on the grapples themselves are 3/4 inch AR 400 steel. So this thing is heavy, heavy duty. You're not gonna bend it. You're gonna bend or break something on your tractor before you bend or break something on this grapple. It's ready to go. In fact, they have this in skid steer quick attach, mini skid steer quick attach, John Deere quick attach. They've got it to match the Avant loaders and the ALO Euro style mounts. So whatever your machine, they have the right adapters to build this specifically for your needs. One of the first things you're going to notice, especially if you're looking at like a root rake grapple or some of the other clamshell type grapples and things like that, is that this has sides on the bucket. And you might be thinking, well, that's terrible for logs. And you're right, except they use grade 8 1-inch bolts on the side of these plates, and they put handles on them so that you can take these plates off when you're ready to start moving logs. And I think that's going to be real simple to do. In fact, I was going to bring my impact wrench to demonstrate this, but I didn't have an impact socket big enough to take these loose. So we're going to just go ahead and pull these loose. And they used grade 8 bolts on these so that if you're taking them in and out a lot, they're going to hold up over time. The way they designed these side plates, you don't even need an impact to take them off because there are slots in the bottom of these plates. And so really the only bolt you have to take out to take these off would be this top one right here. And once you get it off, you've got handles here to lift these off. It's just brilliant. It's brilliant. And then you're going to feed your bolts back in here so that you have them on here for next time. So you just set your plates aside. which is what we're going to do. And these were not just stupid tight, just snug so they won't fall out. These plates weigh about 40 pounds each, so you're taking 80 pounds off of the weight of this grapple when you take those plates off of there, which is good because this is an 800-pound grapple with the side plates on, 720 pounds without it. That lift is going to take away from your lifting capability of your tractor. So that being said, my 4820 is probably about as small a tractor as you would want to be running this on, because you're going to be giving up a lot of lift otherwise. But that being said, and we're going to test it, I should still be able to lift with a 2,700 pound lift capacity of my TYM. I should still be able to lift a 2,000 pound log with this grapple. So we're going to do a test on the logs next. Okay, I've got her all set up in log mode and we're ready. Now, this is how you're normally going to see this in operation on my channel. I am not set up to sell firewood right now. I hope to be set up to sell firewood in the future, but I won't be scooping and loading a lot of firewood. I will be moving a lot of logs, because that's what we do a lot of around here, is cutting logs, moving logs, and milling logs. This will be perfect for accurately placing logs on the mill, and we're going to do some tests. I've got some really nice logs over here. These are oak and poplar logs, and then I've got a couple of, I think they're locusts, that we cut from down there in the barn lot, and we'll just kind of do a test and see how these go. And then I've got a nice walnut log over here. Let me see if I can find it. I think I want to put the walnut on the mill. I'm not going to have time to mill it today, but let's see. What did I do with that? It's back there. So I've got that walnut back there, and I don't know if I could reach back there and pick that out of there or not. So I may have to rearrange some logs. But anyway, we're going to test this thing out, see how it handles logs. Now, I always find it difficult to illustrate just how big and heavy a log is on camera, but this is a 19-inch poplar that is 16 foot long. These are, you know, pushing the envelope in terms of how big we're going to be milling. I don't get many logs that are much bigger than this. I do have one enormous pine log that we're going to try this out on, because I could barely move it with my forks, and this grapple without the sides on it is still going to be 350 pounds, maybe close to 400 pounds heavier than my forks. So I don't know if I'll be able to lift that pine with it or not, but we'll try that out. But the design of this for logs is fantastic, because you can see right here, these teeth or these tines go right back in underneath the log really easily. And then you have a little lip right here that kind of gets it back there in the throat of the grapple. where when you close down on it, it's not going anywhere. It's good and stable, and it's closer back to the pin. So even though you've got, you know, the heavy weight of the grapple sticking out further, the majority of your weight from the big log is back closer to the pins, where you're going to have an easier time lifting it. So this is going to work great for moving logs around the wood yard. I'm going to try to get to that walnut and place it on the mill, because that's kind of the next step. Getting this 48 horse tractor and the capabilities to use something like this 800-pound grapple with the third function is just next level. We were using a Kubota BX and doing everything on a much smaller scale. And I was just telling my son the other night that the one thing I always have to keep in mind at this point is I'm using equipment big enough now to really mess you up if you make a mistake. We don't want to make mistakes, we don't want to tear anything up, and we don't want to get hurt. So we're going to try to take our time as we learn this stuff and do it right. Plucked her right out of there. Look at this. Plucked her right out of there. Look at that. Yeah, this thing is sweet. So moving logs with this grapple is actually easier than moving the smaller logs I was moving with the grapple on my little BX. Part of the reason is because of the spacing. Now you notice the big spacing here, and they have that so that when you pick up scoops of firewood, the dirt falls through, but the wood does not. Works great for that. But what it also works great for is there are big long tines on the bottom that are spaced far enough apart that I can go down between my bunks with those forks and actually set the log all the way down on the bunks and then release the grapple and come out. Now, it'll take a little bit of practice to line up where my grapple teeth come to. I think I hit my log stops there once, but this is definitely going to work well for placing logs on the mill, and it's plenty capable of moving even the pretty big logs just fine. Now, one thing that I will have to watch out for, because it's a new piece of equipment and new clearances to learn, but if I open these jaws all the way up and go to back out of here, I could very easily tear my header out on this. So I have to be slow and pay attention to that. But man, this is amazing. I love it. And come to the fire for a minute and warm up. It's not freezing cold, but it's warm. It's cold enough that my hands are getting cold out here, not doing any actual work, just trying out this grapple and talking. I do a lot of standing around and talking to you guys, you know. This is a lot of fun. I have one more test I want to do with this grapple, and that's go to that great big pine log and see if we can pick it up and move it. Now, it's a monster. I'm gonna grab my tape measure so we can get some good dimensions on it, but I know that it was a struggle with the forks to bring that up here. So I don't know how we'll do with it, but it's kind of, you know, that's part of what I like to do every time I get a new piece of equipment, is to, you know, find the boundaries, and that way I know what I'm capable of accomplishing with it, and I can share that with you guys. All right, this sucker is 25 inches. And 16 foot. The 16-foot logs get heavy. And this, you know, of course, it still needs limbed out. It's got branches sticking from it and all, but I don't know, boys. I don't know, boys. Look how big this sucker is. I really did not think we would pick this up because the grapple is heavy, and I didn't think the tractor would do it. Now, I will tell you, to get it 3 feet off the ground, high enough to get it onto the mill, I did have to do some tricks. Now, you can get the weight to shift on a log like this by driving forward, driving backwards, and then driving forward, and it will lighten the load on it. And so if you're pulling back with the loader, while you do that, while you manipulate where the weight's sitting, you can get it higher and it will hold it up. This is absolutely all it wants, but I could place this log on my mill, and I would say this is a solid 2,000-pound log. It's a dandy. Well, guys, I don't think we could have a better fit for our operation than this EastonMade 60-inch grapple. I think it's going to work out just great for us. I'm really excited, and I appreciate them thinking of us when they were ready to take this thing to market. Check out EastonMadeWoodSplitters.com. They have full lines of firewood processors, wood splitters, grapples, the whole works. They make great products. You can tell by the quality of these. It is just a very well-made product. The owner of the company is involved at all levels of the operation, and he's actually the one that gave me a call and said, hey, would you be interested in using this? And I couldn't hold back my excitement. I said, are you kidding me? I love it. I would love the opportunity to try this thing out, and I am not disappointed. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Until next time, be sure and get outside and enjoy God's creation, because it is absolutely beautiful out here. You all have a good day.